Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about PentaCon. I want to start out in this video just by kind of explaining this video. It's not really a vlog. I did go with the intention of actually filming a lot, and I had some technical issues with an external mic that I was using, so a lot of the video that I recorded has like either no audio at all, or I found that I didn't take my camera out as much as I wanted to, so I wasn't able to really show a whole lot. But luckily, PentaCon, Hassan in particular, filmed everything. Everything was recorded as far as all of the panels, all of the ceremonies that they had, the games even were recorded, some of them. So we did. There is a lot of footage out there. I know Phil also, he did some vlogging, so I'm really looking forward to seeing his vlogs and reliving it through that. But I wanted to talk about my experience, and I'll be showing you some clips of maybe some of the video that they shot. We want to talk about PentaCon. We want to talk about the Dallas PTX show, VIP, and just the whole experience from my point of view. And so I don't know how long this video is going to be. I could ramble. My voice is still a little hoarse from PentaCon. It started getting hoarse about the second day there, which was the concert day. After that day, I found that I was doing a lot of talking, so my voice was getting very hoarse and a little sore. But anyway, but I wanted to talk about, first of all, how it turned out that I wanted to go to PentaCon. How did I even decide that? Well, it wasn't a hard decision, really, because when I first got into reaction videos, I didn't even know about the Pentaholic community. It was really through the comments with you guys talking in the comments of my videos that I started to see that you guys were forming relationships that I didn't understand, maybe how you knew each other, and you know, you guys educated me that, oh well, you know, we meet at shows, we talk online, you know, we have Facebook groups, all these different methods of meeting each other that I didn't know anything about. And I said, well, I want in. So I did get involved kind of right as PentaCon was being put together and announced. But I didn't really hear about PentaCon until it was sort of too late to make the choice to go. So I missed the first one. After they started posting some videos and things of the first PentaCon, you know, the Penta parent panel, and seeing all the videos of you guys kind of meeting each other and just the relationships that were forming, I knew I had to be a part of that. And so when the tickets went on sale for PentaCon 2K18, I was in. I mean, I bought them probably within the first month that they were available. And Phil and I, you know, we had talked about it, you know, and I asked him if it was something maybe he'd be interested in, and he thought it sounded like fun, so we just decided to go ahead and go. Well, a few months later, Hassan contacted us because he had this idea of maybe having a Reactors panel. You know, it kind of turned out that a lot of the Reactors were going to try to be there. And so we put that together, and we've had this sort of group chat on Twitter that we've kind of been, you know, communicating with each other, getting to know each other a little bit better beyond our videos. And that's been going on since last October, or yeah, somewhere around there. And so we've been kind of looking forward to this, and we didn't really know what to expect, but I'll talk more about the Reactor panel in just a bit. So I want to start out, first of all, talking about my decision to, I drove to Dallas. It's only about 7.5 hours for me, so it was a good length for a road trip, and so it was about the same amount either to fly or to drive, and I thought it'd be nice maybe to have my car there if I needed it. So I did decide to drive, and that was fine. Next time, maybe I will fly. I'm not sure if they do it again. I'm hoping. We're all hoping. But So I arrived on Wednesday, and PentaCon didn't start till Friday, but they announced that they were going to have a PTX show the day before PentaCon started. So of course we had to go to that. And we were lucky enough to get some VIP meet and greet. We didn't get private performance, which is really kind of what I wanted, but that's okay. A lot of you guys were lucky enough to get it. We kind of got tripped up with the little secret button at the bottom when it came to ordering. And so we didn't see it in time. And by the time we saw it, they were all gone. But we were lucky enough to get meet and greet, and that's fine with me. And I want to talk about meet and greet. So I'm just going to kind of break this down into sections the best I can. I hope I don't ramble too much. But so I arrived the day before the show on Wednesday and checked in. Now, I stepped out of the car. First of all, Dallas was like 101 that day. So the heat was intense. All of us that went to the show, we were sweating and, trying to find ways to cool ourselves. And I was a little worried that the heat might actually take away from the experience of the show. And I don't think it did. I think I was still able to enjoy it. The show itself is sort of a blur because, we had the meet and greet. It's my first time ever meeting Pentatonix, and that was a lot of fun. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So checking into the hotel went pretty quickly. The lobby was crazy full. I got there right around noon, so everybody was kind of checking out from the night before, and a lot of us were arriving. And so I got in. I got into the room right away. I didn't have to wait. Room's not normally ready till 3 o'clock, but the rooms were already ready. So that was, at least my room was ready, thankfully. And so I got there. I got the car unloaded, and Phil arrived maybe about 15 minutes later. So that worked out really well. He drove in as well. And so we got checked in and kind of didn't really get unpacked or anything, and we were both hungry. We hadn't eaten all day, so we decided to go get something to eat. We knew that Dallas has In-N-Out, which neither one of us have in our city, so we wanted to try that. So we went to In-N-Out for lunch that day, and they were so nice to us in In-N-Out. Phil came in because he was kind of filming a vlog for you guys, and at first, we kind of thought that we were going to get told off for filming, but they were like, "Oh, what are you filming there?" And they were like, "Oh, well, this is our first time ever to In-N-Out." And they were like, "Oh, well, come on in and here," and they just treated us so well, and it, just so incredibly nice and very attentive service, and the food was great. This was in Irving, which is, I guess, it was just down the street from the hotel, about 6 miles maybe. And we had a great lunch, and so we went back to the hotel and got kind of settled. And we took the opportunity to maybe go and relax at the pool for a little while. So we did that, and we got to meet a lot of you guys there at the pool. A few of you were down there. That was nice. But here's my first experience with kind of meeting people that a little bit from online and everything. It was so overwhelming and beautiful. Everybody coming up and saying hi, and it just kind of blew me away. I didn't really expect. I mean, I don't know what I expected, but it was just so unbelievably warm and welcoming, and it was just a huge love fest. And so everybody was kind of meeting each other in the lobby, and the lobby was always kind of crowded and crazy, and it was just a big happy family down there. And I think we got the hotel kind of asked us maybe not to congregate in the hotel in the lobby because they were having trouble, getting other guests checked in and out and that kind of thing. We did kind of take over the whole hotel pretty much. But anyway, after we went and hung out at the pool, and then I don't remember, we didn't do much. I don't think much else. Maybe had some supper, or anyway, we had the show the next day, so we got up and we went and had breakfast. The hotel provided a complimentary breakfast buffet every day. that was part of the hotel room that we paid for. That wasn't included with the ticket, but they had a nice little buffet, and we had breakfast every morning. We got to meet a lot of you guys at breakfast. That was a really big congregating place. So it was a good chance to meet people. And what also, you know, with PentaCon not starting till Friday, we arrived on Wednesday. So we actually had 2 extra days, and it felt like by the time PentaCon started, the actual conference, we had already started our own PentaCon meetups in the lobby and in the restaurant and stuff like that. So that was a lot of fun. So after breakfast, we decided to go and hang out at the pool again for a little bit. We had some time before the show. The show we didn't have to leave until like around 4 p.m. So we had the whole day pretty much just to kind of hang out and chill, meet people, talk to people. And so we went to the pool and hung out. The pool was really nice at the hotel. They had a nice hot tub and everything. And we got a message from Hassan saying, hey, PTX just released Evolution of Rihanna, and why don't we all try to get together and just film a reaction real quick. And so we were Phil and I, we left the pool, we kind of scrambling to get ready to maybe try to film something. And then we still had to go maybe have supper before the show, because we were going to be at the show from like 4 o'clock until maybe 10 or 11 or whatever. So we got ready, and we all got to meet up and film this reaction. It was very spontaneous, and it happened very quickly. So that was fun. And then so we decided to go and grab a bite to eat before the show. After that, we went ahead and we picked up Zach at the hotel, and we all left for the concert. And the traffic was horrible. It did take us about 35 minutes or so to get there from the hotel. But we arrived, and we were a little bit early. The gates hadn't quite opened yet, and they weren't ready to start checking in VIPs. So we kind of hung back. I stayed in the car because it was 103, and so I stayed in the car with the air conditioning. And then it was time to start lining up for VIP, and it was hot. I'm not gonna lie. We were all trying to find shade as everybody was kind of huddled together in every little sliver of shade that we could find. And so VIP. I was lucky enough to have VIP sound check when I first saw them in Memphis, and for this one we were lucky enough to get the meet and greet. The lining up was kind of I thought they could have maybe done that a little bit better. They lined us all up in the direct sunlight, and they didn't have to do that, and so we were all just miserable under that heat. And the few people who had private performance were over in a little shaded area, and there was plenty of room for everybody maybe to be in a shaded area. So I don't know why I wish they had done that a little bit differently. But we did get checked in for VIP. This is the VIP lanyard. Let's see if it'll focus. But that's the VIP. They put a little different colored stars. It'll focus. Different color stars depending on what level VIP you had, and we didn't know that. We didn't know what the colors represented. And this is the back. It's a little holographic. But this is the green star, and that was for meet and greet. So they lined us up. We kind of had to wait a little bit to get into the actual venue because they weren't quite ready, and they were already doing sound check. You could hear them. Sounding amazing, of course. So for VIP for the concert, here's the VIP little tote bag that they handed out, and inside the tote bag, let's see, I think I still have everything in here. Was another little zip pouch bag with a group photo on it. I think I have everything in here. And also inside the bag was, let's see, that's a sticker, a couple stickers maybe. And they also handed out these Pentatonix fans, cooling fans. They have little plastic blades. They also gave us batteries to put in it. I actually thought ahead and brought my own fans, so I didn't use mine. A lot of people were saying that they were kind of breaking on them, but that's okay. It's a cool little keepsake. And they also included, which was really nice, a pair of sunglasses. These weren't branded with Pentatonix or anything, but just in case people needed them, that, you know, it's a summer tour. There's going to be a lot of sunlight. There was definitely a lot of sunlight, and there was a lot of heat. So those were two very thoughtful inclusions in the gift bag there, and the other, that's the batteries. So that was the gift bag for VIP, and I showed you already. I showed you the VIP lanyard that you get. So that's what was included with the VIP. So we were finally allowed into the venue, and they decided they were going to do sound check first. And they gathered us all in, and they played us a little intro video to sound check, which was really cool. I don't really remember what all was in the video. It may have been like clips from PT Experience Part 1. Maybe that was pretty much what they were showing. And so the group comes out, and they performed Video Killed the Radio Star. Now, most of us have seen the sing-off or seen the videos on YouTube, but to hear this live, it was such an unbelievable experience. They sounded so full and so amazing. Like anybody who's been to a PTX show knows what I'm talking about. The sound that you hear from them live, it is probably 20 times what you hear on a recording. It's 20 times bigger. It's just amazing. So the sound, to hear that live, the bass, and it was just so unbelievable, and it was so nostalgic. And so we really appreciated that they sang that song. We were lucky enough in Memphis when they did sound check, they did Telephone, which was their audition song, the very first song they ever sang together as a group, and that was amazing. So they sang, they answered a few questions, and then afterwards, I think right after that, they just lined us up for the meet and greet. And luckily that was in a little bit of a shaded area. We were fortunate enough that meet and greet was in a little air-conditioned building, so you had to line up outside, but you were able to go into the air-conditioned area, so it was a little bit cooler in there. And so first was the group photo. So they were all lined up in front of a PTX backdrop. And Phil and I decided that we were going to take our pictures together. So we both went up, and I got in between Mitch and Scott, and Scott put his arm around me, and Mitch kind of put his head on my shoulder a little bit. And I was like, I'm all sweaty. And Scott said something like, "Oh, that's okay, Queen." And I was like, yes, he called me Queen. That's that's like a compliment coming from them, right? And so we took our photo, and we were kind of walking off, and the last person in line for us to pass was Kevin, and he said, "Hey, I like your videos." And I'm like, "Oh my word, what?" And I said, "Stop it!" And I actually smacked him on the arm, and I was like, "Oh, we're not supposed to do that." And I apologize, but you could see, I could see out of the corner of my eye, Scott and Mitch go, what's that? And he said, "Yeah, these are the reactors." And they were like, you could see their faces change. I don't know that they recognized us necessarily right then, maybe, but you could see their faces change, like, "Oh yeah." And we were kind of already on our way back out of the building, because you had to go back out and get back in line to come back for the signing. So we were almost all the way out anyway when they were saying that. And so that was really nice. So we got back in line again, and we came back around to do the actual signing. And what Phil and I did, we didn't really have anything for them to sign, so we ordered the CD, and we had them sign that. Oh, I'll just hold it up. I put a picture on Instagram, but if it wants to focus, let's bring it down this way. There. So we bought that, even though we got the digital copy with the concert ticket. So we brought that in. But an interesting thing that we noticed was Nell and Mike Grassi were actually in the line to go through and have their picture taken and go through the signing. They stood out in the heat just like everybody else, and I thought that was really sweet. and you could hear in the where we were lining up by this fence, you could hear dogs barking, and I'm pretty sure that was probably Kirsty's dogs because her mom was there with the dogs. So we got back in line, and we were coming up to, I think Kevin was the first one. He was like, and I said to him, I said, sorry for smacking you on the arm. Thanks for not having me arrested. And he was like, no. He said, I love your videos. And we're like, oh, that was really sweet. And so next I went to Mitch, and he was very quiet. You could tell that, maybe tired, maybe just resting his voice, crowds probably like me. I don't do well in crowds very well either. And I don't think he does as well, but he was very quiet, just, kind of smiling and nodding. And I think I said something, I said, this is my first fandom ever. He said, oh, really? He said, that's so sweet. I think Scott was next, and he looked at me and he said, Rob, and I just about fell out because he knew my name. I didn't expect that. Because I really didn't think he recognized us at first, but I guess maybe he did a little bit. And he said, I just can't with you two. Phil was standing next to me. He said, I just can't with you two. I said, your videos, we're so obsessed with you. And I said, well, it's pretty obvious how we feel about you. So he said, I'm so excited for you guys to see the show. We've been working really hard. And he said, I've been kind of saving my voice so I can belt it for you guys tonight. And I said, well, we have confidence. We know you can do it. And it was really sweet. The next in line was Kirsty, and she noticed, I had a little fan and everything. She said, are you staying cool? It's really hot. I've got my water. I can't go anywhere without my water. It's so hot. I said, yeah. I said, we're trying to find shade wherever we can. She said, that's good. She said, I hope you guys enjoy the show. And I said, we will. I said, don't worry about that. She said, and I think next was Matt. He was, pleasant, very, very smiling and happy and joyful. I don't remember really having much of a conversation with him. But that's nothing negative against him. I think, it moved very, very quickly. So we made our way into the venue, and we got to our seats, and we had fantastic seats. We were ready for Callum Scott. That's his name, right? Callum. Let me tell you, he was amazing. I was so blown away. I've seen the video of him from Britain's Got Talent, and but his voice and his songs were just so amazing, and he's a real talent. Yeah, I've really got to look into getting some of his music because he was really enjoyable. And then Echo Smith came out after him. Now, I wasn't really familiar with them, but I enjoyed them. I think they sounded great. They were a lot of fun. They were pretty loud. It was kind of a little bit jarring because Callum is a little more subdued and they're a little more rock. And so it was a bit of adjustment listening to them, but I thought they sounded fantastic. And by the time we were ready for the show, it was just after Echo Smith, I think. It was kind of the break, waiting for PTX to come on. Anyway, we got a tap on the shoulder, and we turned around, and it was Connie and Rick Hoying, and they came by to say hi to Phil and I, and I thought that was so sweet. I didn't even realize that they were sitting in the row behind us, and they just came up and they just said they wanted to say hi. And Connie's always so sweet, and he says that she watches the videos, and she just so supportive, and they are really the kindest people you ever want to meet. They are, and I'll tell you more about that during PentaCon, because they are true stans. I mean, 100%. They are Pentaholics, and but they were just so sweet and kind and generous to come over and say hi to us. And we chatted a little bit about the Reactor panel. They were excited for that, and I thought that was really sweet. And of course, we were excited for the Pentaparent panel. It's one of the whole reasons that drove me to want to maybe come to PentaCon was watching the Pentaparent panel from 2016. I told her that, And she was very thankful and appreciative of that. So it was really sweet. Apparently, Scott's sister and brother-in-law and nieces and nephews and even Mike and Nell Grossi, I think, were in the row behind us as well. I didn't see them. Phil said that he could see them. Phil told me that he would look back every now and then when Mitch was doing some crazy note or some high crazy note, and he would look back at the Grossis and they would just be shaking their head like they get it. He's amazing. And I thought that was really cute. But the show in general was probably the most visually stunning show I've ever seen of theirs. The production value was off the charts, and the sound was amazing. Their sound mix was good. Their mic levels were good. Everything was just so wonderful, and I was excited to get to hear a lot of the new stuff live. But in particular, I was excited to hear. I'd seen the set list from an earlier show, and I saw that they were going to do Bohemian Rhapsody, and I was really excited because I didn't get to see that live when they toured, I think last summer, right? And so that was really thrilling. They did that as the finale, and it brought me to tears. I talked about this during the PentaCon panel, Reactor panel. It's so technically amazing what they've done, and they sound so amazing. It brings me to tears. I just can't explain it. That's not a song that normally would, stir emotions like that. Anyway, the whole show was just amazing. It was just amazing. And my favorites were probably Bohemian Rhapsody and Sorry Not Sorry. Oh my God, Mitch, and that note. It was insane. They sounded really good. And Perfect sounded good. I loved it. What else? They opened with Sing, which was interesting because they normally would do that in the show's the previous tour. They were doing that as the closing number. But that was fun. They opened with that. They had a cool new opening that I thought was just really, really well done. And their entrance with the curtain drop and everything is so amazing. The production, like I said, was just off the chart. And the choreo that they were doing, well, I was grateful that the choreo wasn't so much that it would make it really difficult for them to sing. It was just enough, I thought. I thought it was just a perfect balance. Anyway, the show wrapped up. And we kind of made our way out. It took a little bit. It was, I don't know if that the show was sold out, but if it wasn't, it was very close to being sold out. I know there were a lot of lawn seats. So how do you sell out lawn seats? I don't know. Maybe it's just by number. I'm not really sure. But there were a lot of people. It took a little bit to get out, but not too bad. So the traffic back to the hotel was much smoother, I thought. And we were pretty exhausted, so we kind of called it a night after that. We were ready. We had PentaCon starting early in the morning at 8 o'clock. It was probably about 11 when we got back to the hotel. So we were ready just to call it a night. So Friday morning, we get up and we're ready to have a little bit of breakfast. We have registration starting at 8 o'clock. So we headed down. Maybe we thought maybe we would go get a bite to eat and then go register. But then we decided once we were down there, the line didn't look that busy, so we just went ahead and registered for PentaCon. And here's what we got. We got these nice PentaCon lanyards. The buttons were extra. These were given to me by, Sabrina and Marlene and Helen. And you do get this little pin, PentaCon. See if that'll go into focus. And here's the lanyard. These little ribbons are just saying first time attendee, and I got one for being a panelist, so that was cool. And on the back of has your Twitter handle, I think, is what most people had on theirs. And but I thought it was really cool. I like the lanyard. It says PentaCon, which is really cool. So, and also, you got a swag bag. This is it. I'll try to hold it up so you can see it. Nice little bag. And inside the bag, Let's see, there was a notepad. Mine's folded there, but that's okay. You got this nice little cozy. It says PentaCon on it. And I obviously didn't use mine. And a sticker. Let's see. The cough drops did not come with it. Oh, yeah, the little fidget spinner. Little PentaCon fidget spinner. That's cute. What else? PentaCon bookmark. And let's see. Oh, I don't know if they just put this in my bag, but Kleenex. What else? Oh, there's a poster. I'll try to unroll this poster for you. Sorry, my voice is getting a little hoarse, but a lot of people were bringing the PentaCon poster and having the group sign it during the meet and greet, which I thought was a great idea. I guess that might have been better than the CD, actually. But that's cool because you could have framed this, right? I think you can frame the CDs. They make frames where you can display like signed CDs and cases like that. What else? During PentaCon, during a couple other events, one of the themes was Christmas in July, and so they gave away a little PentaCon Christmas tree ornament, which was cool. And also, this was closing ceremony, I believe, they gave us sunglasses, which was really cool. Little PentaCon sunglasses. So a nice little swag bag. So after we got checked in, we decided to go have breakfast, and we got to meet up with some more Pentaholics in there. And one of the highlights for me was meeting. I would walk by and I saw a lady sitting at a table, and I knew her face looked familiar, and I said, "You know, your face looks really familiar to me." But it was Sam from House of Herbs, which was one of the first reaction channels that I ever watched, and so that was really exciting. She was really sweet, and we got to hang out a little bit at the opening ceremony, and I got to meet a friend of hers who came over from the UK. So many people came from all over the world, from the UK, Germany, Austria, Australia, Singapore. I mean, it just blew my mind that people were coming from all over the globe for this, and I just thought that was so amazing, and I loved meeting everyone. But we had breakfast, and then it was time to head to the main hallway for the opening ceremony, and there's some great footage that Hassan shot of the opening ceremony. He did a little rap song, which I thought was fun, and it was just very energetic and very spirited. It was a great way to open the ceremony, or open the whole conference, I thought. A couple other things. They had a little icebreaker where you would turn around and try to meet somebody that you hadn't met before. I kind of felt like I had met everybody at that point, but of course I hadn't. So that was fun. Lunch break. What they did, they included lunch every day. So you got a nice boxed lunch. Usually it was like a sandwich and some maybe a piece of fruit, a bag of chips, a soft drink, something like, stuff like that. So very, very fine, very nice. Afterwards, I think it was game time, Family Feud. We did play Family Feud. We had a little group of some of our reactors, like Zach and Alex. We were all on a team. We didn't win, but we were robbed. But it was a lot of fun. We kind of think that the roles maybe were changed for the final part. We thought that the rules were kind of a little unfair, but that's all, I take that in stride. It's just part of the fun. So one thing we were looking forward to on the very first day was the social media panel with Mario and Ryan. And let me tell you, Mario, he is such a joy and such a positive presence to be around. And I really enjoyed the panel. I enjoyed hearing about his struggle with confidence and, you know, trying to make it in the music business. And he's got a really great ally in Ryan, who's his manager. And they both have been so gracious to, I know, to myself and to Phil and all the other reactors. They're just so appreciative that, you know, of all the fans, all of Mario's fans that have, you know, sort of come up through the Pentaholic community. And he really feels the love from all of us. And he's such a wonderful, wonderful soul. And that was just a great panel. You should definitely go and check out the full video because it's on the PentaCon channel here on YouTube. After Mario's panel, he had a meet and greet back in the back room, and people were lined up all the way. I mean, a line so long that I couldn't stand in it. I thought, I was really anxious to meet Mario, but I just had to wait for the line maybe to die down a little bit, and it kind of never did. He was so generous with his time. He literally was going to stay there until everybody was, you know, through the line. He took his time talking and having a real interaction with people, and it was just so heartwarming and so endearing and so, you know, in line with who you think he is. And Ryan was there to meet people, and it was just really just a wonderful experience. I just enjoyed the way that they were treating the fans. I thought it was just beautiful. And we didn't get to meet Mario at that time. The line was just a little too long, and it was getting time to start the next game. There was another game after the meet and greet. So we did go to the main hallway for Name That Tune. We weren't there for very long. We decided maybe the line for Mario had maybe kind of died down a little bit, so maybe we would go and, you know, have our chance to say hi to Mario. So we went into the back room again, and there were still probably about 10 people or so in line. So, you know, I just kind of had a seat, and we're just waiting for the line to kind of make its way all the way to Mario. And somebody came in at that time to get Mario. They said that Mario needed to come to the main room right away, and we should all come too because there might be a special guest. So we kind of, you know, just left that and just walked back up to the main room, and Phil and I kind of slipped in at the front door there where the committee was at, and I walk in and I see Scott standing there, and I'm like, oh, I guess that's the special guest. I didn't know if the whole group was coming or what was happening at that moment, but it was kind of just a surprise, and we just kind of slipped in. I was literally standing right behind him, or he was standing in front of me, however you want to look at it. And he kind of turned around. He said, oh, I'm sorry, I'm blocking you. Then he said, oh, hi, Rob. And he just came up and hugged me and gave Phil a hug. He's like, sorry for standing in front of you. And I'm like, no. I said, we were actually just in the back room trying to meet Mario. And they said, you got to come down to the room right away. So it was fun. They actually got up and played the game. He played the game. His mom, Connie, played the game, and Rick. And then Matt comes in. And it was just kind of like, wait a minute, what's happening? And for a moment, I'm like, wait, are they all going to walk in just one after the other? And it's just going to blow our minds. But it was a wonderful experience. It was so kind and thoughtful for them to come by and say hi. And they just wanted to, you know, make a little appearance and just tell us how much they appreciated us. And I thought it was very, very sweet. After they were finished playing the game, they stayed and took some photos with everybody, just as, you know, a little impromptu meet and greet. And people were kind of crowding up to the front, and I started to feel a little bit anxious and a little bit, you know, uncomfortable for Scott and for Matt. So Phil and I kind of just slipped out of the back door there. We didn't want to kind of be in the way and stuff like that. So I never got a chance to get like a selfie with him or anything, but that's okay. I got a hug, so that was nice. So after the Scott and Matt surprise, we went and had dinner and rested up a little bit. getting ready for the dance party that started later at 8. And I think that went up to about midnight. We didn't stay that long until midnight. We stayed pretty late, maybe 11 o'clock or so, I think. And it was a lot of fun. They had a nice DJ and people were up dancing, and they had tables where people could sit and socialize, and it was a lot of fun. I got to talk with several people. I got to meet Tara, and Hassan sat down with us for a little bit, and that was really nice. It was enjoyable. I didn't dance much, but I was dancing in my seat. So that kind of wrapped up the very first day of PentaCon. It was a lot of fun. It was a great start to the conference. We were all looking forward to the next day. We had the Penta choir rehearsal with Mario, and we had the Reactor panel, and we had the Penta parent panel, and so we were really looking forward to that. So we kind of ducked out probably around 11 o'clock from the dance party to go and get some rest. So the next morning, Saturday, we get up and we go have our breakfast buffet. It was great again. They do a really good job, I think, with that at the hotel. So first off, I think there was like some cardio dance fitness thing going on that morning. We skipped it and just decided to sleep in and have breakfast instead. So, but we did make it in time for the Penta choir practice with Mario, and I was really excited to have the opportunity. I didn't sing. My voice was really kind of given out on me, and so I'm not much of a singer, but I'll sing along. I don't have any problem with that. But we did want to be there and support, and kind of Phil was also, his voice wasn't feeling great either, and he's a singer, and he would be up there in a heartbeat, but he wasn't feeling it in his voice. But we did kind of hang out and kind of be there to support the choir, and they sounded amazing. They did such a great job, and Mario did such a great job of directing them, and he's a real pro. You can tell he was able to break it down and teach people how to sing in proper phrases, and just how to blend vowels and stuff like that. It was really nice. It was a lot of fun. I wish my throat had felt better, because I would have been up there singing too, I think. But I was excited that Mario was doing the choir practice, because I've been a fan of his music. I love his EP, Heart of Gold. It's just sensational. If you've not listened to it, you need to go check it out. So I've been a fan of his, for a while now, and I've never had the opportunity to hear him sing live. He does tour, but he kind of goes to cities that aren't really close to me, and so I have never been able to make it to a show. And so I was kind of excited, well, maybe he'll sing a little bit during the choir. But what they announced was that he was going to be performing a little mini concert for us, and that was going to happen later Saturday, actually. They announced that on, I think, the opening ceremony, but I was so thrilled about that. I think I stood up and gave it a standing ovation. I was so happy. I was thinking on my way there that when am I ever going to have the chance to hear him live? And here we are with the free Mario concert. So was looking forward to that, but the Penta choir practice went really, really well. It took the full 2 hours. They rehearsed it several times, and then took a lunch break, had our boxed lunch, and then came back and actually filmed the performance. They filmed it a couple times and kind of brought me to tears. It was so beautiful, so beautifully done. They did a fantastic job. Great job, everybody. If you're watching this, I thought you sounded beautiful. So after that, we took a little bit of a break. We didn't have much time, but we just kind of chilled out for a little bit. And because coming up, we had the Reactors panel. We were really excited. We didn't know what to expect. The only thing that we really knew is that we were maybe going to be taking some questions and possibly reacting to something live. That's all we knew. So I know Phil and I were a little, concerned. Is anybody going to want to come and listen to us and ask us questions? And the room was packed. I mean, I was blown away. And I was blown away, but because I knew the Hoynes said that they were going to come, and they did. And that was so kind and generous. It was a thrill to have them there. Here's the interesting thing. I'm the kind of person that I don't like to be the center of attention. It's not attractive to me. I don't desire that in any way. I know it's kind of strange because I make videos and put them up on YouTube, but it's much more intimate than that. It's intimacy I don't have a problem with, but large groups and everything, normally it's not my thing. But I have to tell you, I am still surprised at how comfortable I felt being in that room full of all of you guys, and with my fellow reactors who are just as lovely in person as they are on their videos. That was another real thrill. Getting to meet Shay and Alex and Hassan finally live, and Zach. Of course I know Phil, but it was really nice to get to know them a little bit. We've been chatting a little bit on Twitter, like I've told you before. Leading up to this, we had a little group chat on Twitter. So it was really nice to actually get to meet them in person, and I really felt so comfortable up there, and it flew by. You guys had great questions. I was glad people were asking questions, and some of you thought of some really amazing things to ask that I never expected people to even talk about, like copyright and the problems with filming, and what do you do when you get a corrupted video or something like that. Most of us said that it's mostly audio problems with us, which I had problems with what little bit of vlogging I was trying to do at PentaCon. My audio didn't record, so that it happens, and that's just the way it is. But the Reactors panel was, I could have been there all night. I loved it so much. So thank you all for coming. If you came to that, we really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments below if there was a question maybe you wanted to ask but didn't ask. We'd love to hear about your feedback and stuff like that. But anyway, that was a blast. But we were the opening act for the Penta parents, and it was very exciting because all of the parents were going to be there, all of them. The Hoyings, which I've talked about, we're going to be there. The Gracies and the Solis and Angelica Maldonado was there, and also the Alushalas, which also Kevin's sister Candace, who I got to just say hi to briefly the day before at breakfast. So that was fun. I didn't get a chance to really talk to the Solis. I know the Solis were there in the hotel with us, but I never really ran into them anywhere. But the Penta parent panel was, of course, it was amazing. They had an hour and a half, and I think I could have listened to them for like 3 hours if they hadn't been willing to talk. But first of all, at heart, they are Pentaholics. They love the group as much as we do, not just because they're family, but they actually enjoy the music, I think. But they're all just so fun and just so thankful and grateful for everything, and I just love that. I loved hearing about their stories and their experiences with all of this that has come to the group, and how it impacts their lives. I think it's a testament to who these people are that they raised, that they come from such great people. I mean, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, really, right? Anyway, so it was really great to hear their stories, and afterwards they did a little meet and greet, and I was excited to get a chance to maybe say hi to them, but it didn't really work that way. And I get that there are some logistical, things that, had to be done to be able to make this efficient time-wise for the parents, because, there's so many of us, and, we all wanted, a chance to say hello. And so what they did was a group photo in front of the Pentatonix, which are the life-size cutouts that they had of the group. And I have to say that I felt that that was a little bit awkward because I didn't feel like I had the opportunity to say hello to everybody. It was kind of like there was no real appropriate place to stand. I didn't want to stand in front. Did I go stand by this person or by that person? And it was so spread out, and it just felt, it was a little awkward to me, but I understand that it had to be something efficient, but I felt that was a little bit awkward. Maybe without the cutouts and just as a big group might have been a little bit better, but that's my opinion anyway. So it was nice. I was standing next to the Grossies, and Phil and I took a picture together with them, and Phil was over by the Hoyings. We just decided to bookend everybody. And Mike Grossi called me Ron, and that's okay. And then Nell said, well, what was your name again? I said, Rob. And she said, oh, Rob. Okay. So she got it right. So that was nice. But anyway, afterwards, we decided to head for some supper and come back for the Christmas and July party. It was another dance party, but starting the dance party, Mario gave us a little concert. So after dinner, we head back to the main room for the Christmas and July dance party. But starting out the party was a little mini concert from Mario, and he came out and he performed some songs off of his EP Heart of Gold, and sounded amazing. It was very thrilling for me because I was so excited to hear him sing live, and he did not disappoint. His voice is just insane, and he's so lovely and so endearing to the fans, and it was just such a joy to be there. And I was kind of sitting in the back. I'm not able to stand. Everybody was kind of standing up at the front, and because of my back problems, I don't really stand that long. And so I was sitting in a chair, so I really couldn't see him. But just a little shout out to Phil. Let me tell you what he did. He was up filming for the vlog. He was kind of filming some stuff, and he came back and he grabbed me and he pulled me up to the front. And he grabbed a chair with the other arm and put a chair up right at the very front. He found a little space where I wasn't in the way, blocking anybody. And he put me right there so that I could see Mario sing live. And I thought that was just the sweetest thing ever. And so we were actually just right in front of him. I had a little like podium thing in front of me, but I don't care. I got to see him, so that's all I care about. So the show, it was amazing. He actually performed his new song, You Were the One, live, and it was a bop. I mean, it was so much fun. But also, when he sang Heart of Gold, we all had little... Oh, do I have those? Here we go. So during Heart of Gold, we all had these little cutouts that we held up. Mario was up there just singing for his life with his eyes closed in that beautiful a cappella start to Heart of Gold. And then he kind of peeked and opened his eyes and he saw all the hearts, and he kind of lost it. And that's all filmed also. So that's great. You need to go look for that on the PentaCon channel because it's all there and it's fantastic. So his show was just amazing. He sounded amazing. It was such a thrill to see him live. And even though some of the Penta parents stuck around to watch him perform, and it was a beautiful experience. After his performance, we were able to go up and just kind of say hi to him and give him a hug and thank him for performing for us and being there and being such a positive influence in our Pentaholic community. He's just a fantastic person, and Ryan was so charming and lovely to meet, and they've just been really, really nice to us, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate the way he treats his fans. It's really sweet. So after Mario's show, there was a little bit of a dance party, and Hassan came out and performed as the Red Ranger. He did a little dance for everybody, and that was a lot of fun. And they did a t-shirt contest, and all in all, it was just a wonderful evening and beautiful end to a beautiful day. It was just such a wonderful day with the panels and the choir. It was amazing. It's probably my favorite day out of PentaCon. Maybe, yeah, probably my favorite day out of PentaCon. The Matt and Scott surprise was nice too, but I really enjoyed that Saturday. It was really fun. So Sunday morning, the third day of PentaCon, we were kind of tired and but excited for for the closing ceremony day, and so we got up and went and had breakfast, and we made our way to the main hall around probably 10:30 or so. That we're having more games, more Family Feud games, and so we stuck around for a little bit for that, and decided to maybe go have a little bit of pool time and just relax for a bit. And so we did that and came back in time for a little bit of trivia and lunch, and that was a lot of fun. They also had a nice vendor hall that had a photo booth, so we took photos every day. They had a different sort of background or border for the photo booth photos, so that was a lot of fun. And to close up the whole PentaCon ceremony, Hassan, throughout the weekend, had compiled this video of the actual from PentaCon 2018, and it was just so beautifully done. Hats off, Hassan. It was just a wonderful way to end in this whole experience. There was a kind of a video montage of all different performances throughout Pentatonix's career, and so that was fun to watch. The closing ceremonies where there was prizes were given away for all the contests and all the games, and they did a little auction where they auctioned off different items, and some of the Pentatonix went for $700, and some, I mean, it's amazing. It was a lot of fun. But to wrap up my experience with PentaCon, and first of all, I just have to say thank you to the committee. Those committee members are probably some of the most amazing people that I've ever met. They were so joyful. They were so helpful. This, in my eyes, went off without a hitch. And that means that behind the scenes, they were doing an amazing amount of work. And so my hat's off to them, and my thank yous to them for working so hard and for giving us such a great experience. It was something that I'll treasure for my lifetime. I enjoyed meeting all of you. I hope you had a good time. Please tell me about your experiences in the comments below. For those of you that weren't able to make it, tell me that you maybe want to make it next time, and I hope to see you if we do it again. I can't wait because I miss my Pentaholic family. So I wanted to take a minute just to kind of show you some of the things that some of you lovely people brought to PentaCon to give to me, and I thought it was very sweet. Where do we start? Okay. Helen, who came in all the way from Australia, was so sweet to bring Phil and I little gift bags, and in the gift bag was the little clip-on koala that I had on my lanyard. If you can see that there. It says, "I heart Australia." And I do. And I heart you, Helen, for bringing these. Also, she brought a little gift bag of some goodies, some little treats. So I'm going to kind of dump these out and just kind of go over them a little bit. This is called, Cadbury Dairy Milk Caramella Koala. Let me tell you something about Phil loves these, and he's got me hooked on the Cadbury Dairy Milk. Especially the caramello, and these are little koala caramellos, and they're very, very good. What else? Another Dairy Milk Freddo milk chocolate. I guess that's a little chocolate frog. So that's cute. Let's see. These are called Minties. Allen Minties. They feel a little, are they soft maybe? I'll put those up. I don't know, but we're going to try some of these in just a second. This is another, there's several of these little minties in there, so that's nice. And also a little packet of Vegemite. We're going to try it in just a minute. Also, let's see, from Marlene, who lives in, is it Nova Scotia or is it Newfoundland? Nova Scotia, right? She brought us a little gift bag, Phil and I. She also brought us some little pins. Canada A. And this little PentaCon pin. I thought that was very sweet. And here's a nice magnet from Halifax. And there's some treats and goodies in here also. Sorry if this bag is noisy. She gave us some little Canada bracelets. Very thoughtful. Oh, a little Canada magnet. Very sweet. And the treats. Now, I was lucky because I got an extra one. At the end, she said she had an extra one. These are coffee crisp. I love coffee, so we're going to try that too. And just before the reactor panel, I ran into somebody in the hallway, and she handed me this. This is a little tissue box that she has sort of decorated with little clips of little pictures of Pentatonix and me from my videos, and I thought that was very sweet. So, Colleen, thank you for these. And these were featured in the reactor panel. They came in handy, like I told you they would. So thank you for these. I cherish this. Thank you. So I have some toast here that I have buttered. The butter is kind of melted a little bit, but some say that that's the way you're supposed to eat Vegemite, is to have the butter melt into the toast. So there are lots of rules of how to do it correctly, and one of the rules, we're going to open this, and here is, it's kind of like a paste, and it's made of yeast extract, I believe, if I'm not, proudly made in Australia since 1923. Contains vitamin B1, B2, B3, and folate. Allergy statement. Contains barley and wheat. Okay. Interesting. So it's very thick. Now, all the videos that I've watched, people put way too much on there. And so I'm just going to try. I have a little bit of butter on there, but just a little small amount. And I'll spread that on the toast. We'll have a little mukbang or something. Is that how you say it? Oh, okay. Okay, so I have it on my toast, and I'm going to hold it up, and you can tell me if I did a good job. So there it is. Not too heavy, not a whole lot. So hopefully this will be the way it's supposed to be eaten. So, all right, we're going to try Vegemite. I don't really smell much. I smell a little bit here, and it reminds me almost of like demi-glace. Are any cooks out there that use demi-glace? That's kind of what it reminds me of, like that sort of real thick paste type texture. But anyway, I put a little thin layer on it, so let's try it. It's interesting. It's salty, but it almost just kind of enhances the butter, really. Yeah, let me try another bite. Yeah, I like it. It's very subtle. I wonder if I have enough on there. you kind of, the aftertaste, you kind of, that's when it starts to permeate my palate. It's very nice. I don't know what to compare it to. Nothing that I can think of that I eat normally, but it's enjoyable. Yeah, it just has like a nice salty, almost beefy kind of flavor. I get almost a little bit of beef in that. It's pretty good. Thank you, Helen, for that. I wanted to film with you actually trying this, but we never got the chance, and I'm sorry for that. But I wanted to try it so you could see it. Very nice. Let's try. What next? Let's stay on the continent of Australia. Let's try. Now I know what the caramellos taste like. They're really good, but we're going to try one anyway. It's very cute. Little chocolate koala. Very nice, very creamy. Yummy. That's very good. I'm going to save that for later. I have several things I don't want to try. Also, I wanted to point out that Helen brought some Tim Tams from Australia. If you've never had Tim Tams, we can get them in the States. And I'd never done like a side-by-side comparison as to how they taste, but they're like a chocolate wafer with chocolate filling and then encased in chocolate. So how can you go wrong with that? And she brought some of those and we tried it and they were delicious. So thank you for that. And also, I don't have any with me here. Joe from the UK brought a sampling of some of her favorites from Lindt. Some different chocolates, different combinations that they make that we don't get all of those here in the States. She had some different flavors that we don't always get. So she laid out a sampler for everybody to come by and try, and that was wonderful. Thank you for that, Joe. They were delicious. Lindt is one of my favorite chocolates. What should we try? Let's try a Minties. They feel maybe like they're going to be soft, but I'm not sure. Maybe like a taffy. So they are soft. And it smells like mint. Very nice. It's like a peppermint taffy. Very nice. Not completely chewy, but soft and very nice. This is made by Allen's. It's moments like these you need. Indeed. Very nice. I'm going to have a bite of plain toast to clear my palate because I have one more thing to try. And that's the coffee crisp that Marlene brought. I saw somebody had maple cookies. I never got one. Who brought those? Okay, it looks like another wafer. Larger than a Tim Tam. Tim Tams are much smaller than this, but you can see the wafer kind of here. The chocolate didn't cover it. So, it has a very strong coffee smell, which smells great. I love coffee. Very tasty, very rich and sweet. There's like a cream filling in between the wafers that I'm trying to identify. I have two more, so I'm going to look on the package here. There's nothing that really describes what it is. There's a list of ingredients, but I can't tell. I can't tell from the packaging what that creamy inside is. Very tasty. Is it nutty? I can't tell if that filling is nutty, but it's very good. The coffee flavor isn't overpowering. It's just right. Very delicious. Thank you all. Thank you for all these little treats and goodies. I can't thank you enough for everything. Your love, your support. It was just wonderful to connect with you guys at PentaCon, and I miss you already. So thank you for sticking around for my mukbang. And I'll see you for the next one.